what my friends were talking about. I actually didn't become a fan until I left daily sports writing for the first time in 1971 and could watch a game without having to think about covering it. And not only had I never read the Times sports pages, I had barely read the Times at all. My parents, being public school teachers, got the New York World Telegram and Sun, which had an education page. But I needed a job. My shift was 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. My nights off were Tuesday and Wednesday. My first night on the job, I almost stopped the presses. The copy boy who broke me in was in a hurry to get out for a long dinner break at Goff's, the bar across the street, to talk sports with the printers and pressmen. What he was supposed to train me to do was simple enough. Hover near the copy desk, actually a dozen dirty blonde, cigarette-charred wooden desks lined up so the cranky old bullies could face each other and chuckle as they butchered reporters' stories, until one of them yelled, "Boy!" This could be a call to get coffee, sharpen pencils, refill pots of library paste, or most important, snatch a page of edited copy, roll it up, snap on a rubber band, and slip it into a plastic and leather canister that would be launched like a mortar round up a metal pipe in the pneumatic system to the fourth floor, where it would pop out of the pipe and thump into a rubber well. Someone would unsnap the leather strap of the canister, pluck out the copy, and hand it to a linotype operator who would turn it into lines of hot metal type to be fitted into the frames of printing press pages on huge stone tables. Whether it was a failure of communication in the 5-minute training session, or, more likely, one of my enduring techno screw-ups, I skipped the stage in which I was supposed to slip the copy into the canister. I slipped the rolled-up paper directly into the sucking mouth of the pneumatic pipe. There was a whoosh, and the lid of the pipe snapped shut. After a while, the sports makeup man on the fourth floor began phoning down, "Where's the fucking copy?" The head of the sports copy desk screamed back, "Look up your ass!" This was common, but the long absence of copy was not. As deadline approached, someone thought to check the system, actually put an arm up the pipe. It was lined with paper. Most of that night's sports report was stuck in transit. Had it happened a few minutes later, they might have had to stop the presses or release part of the first edition with no sports section. Small loss, I say in retrospect, but unthinkable then. Actually not unthinkable now, of course, when the Times apparently has toyed with the idea of further downsizing the sports report, even dropping the section entirely, as did the Washington Times, to save money. With the exception of Gay Talese's pieces, the Times sports section in 1957 was at best mediocre, perhaps by design. The editorial side of the Times seemed faintly embarrassed by sports, although business appreciated the car and boat ads it anchored, and everybody enjoyed the free tickets that flowed in. A survey later revealed that Times readers interested in sports took a second paper, usually the New York Post or the Daily News, to satisfy their Jock Jones. But on my first night, the pipes were jammed with the faux Homeric myth-making of rosy-fingered Arthur Daly, the Sports of the Times columnist, the plodding game detail of the ambassadors to baseball, John Drebinger, Roscoe McGowan, and Louis Efrat, John Rendell's yacht racing stories with their long tales of agatype results, and the symphonic tennis summaries of the courtly Allison Danzig. All were respected students of their games. All were determinedly dulled down in the style of the Times. Years later, writing feature sidebars to Danzig's coverage, I was impressed, and yes, proud, at how tennis stars lined up at the press table after their matches to respectfully ask what Mr. Danzig had observed and how well or poorly they had played. But that first night at the Times, I was made to feel as though I had almost let the only illuminated pages of Genesis slip out of my hands into a fire. The pneumatic system was